Hey guys, it's Derek and welcome back to another video. Now earlier this week we had the new Apple event for 2021, the September event. Unsurprisingly, they announced the new iPhone 13, they announced the new Apple Watch Series 7, they announced the new iPad and also the new iPad mini. And I just wanted to talk to you guys today and give you some tips on how to make a decision as to which model you want to buy and whether it's worthwhile spending money for the top of the range model or whether it's okay to get the most basic model. And it really depends on a number of factors, and I just wanted to go through a few of them with you right now. So I've just got a few things that I've just jotted down on my phone. In terms of the Apple Watch Series 6 in Australia right now, we don't really know the pricing because all it says on the Apple website right now is that it will be released later on this year. So I'm going to go on the information that I have with the current series, which is Apple Watch Series 6. If you look at their website, there's a number of different configurations, and basically if you go for the very simple, the bottom of the range Apple Watch Series 6, you start off with the 40mm watch with the aluminium case and the sports band. And the price of that particular watch is $599. The top of the range Apple Watch, and I don't think that there are a lot of people out there who would actually buy this watch, but it's for the 44mm Hermes branded Apple Watch, and the price of that is $2,259. That is a significant increase in the price compared to the basic model. And the question is, what is the difference and why would you pay an extra $1,500? For starters, I personally wouldn't. I don't have that sort of disposable income and I'm not such a big fan of Hermes that I really want to get the stuff. But what do you think about in terms of Apple Watches? The most important decision to me when I get an Apple Watch is two things. One is the size of the Apple Watch. All Apple Watches come as either 40mm or 44mm, and the difference is how well it fits on your wrist. Now my current Apple Watch, which is a Series 3, is a 44mm and it fits well on my wrist. My wife, who has a smaller wrist than me, the 44 looks kind of a bit awkward on her wrist, and it looks really nice with her 40mm Apple Watch. So that's the deciding factor for me. In terms of whether you want to get different bands which cost different money, and that's all got to do with taste as well. The other significant difference which you consider when you're buying an Apple Watch is whether you want just the regular Apple Watch or whether you want it cellular. Cellular is more expensive obviously than without, and the difference with the cellular is that you can actually use all the functionality of your Apple Watch when you're not near your iPhone. For someone like myself, I have the cellular version of Series 3, and you can tell by the little red thing on the crown, this thing here. I bought it with the intention that perhaps there's going to be times that I'm going to have my Apple Watch without my iPhone, and in the 2 or 3 years that I've had this watch, I don't think I've come across any significant situation where I've needed to have the cellular function. I always have my iPhone with me, and when I don't have my phone with me, it doesn't feel like a big deal. You're paying extra for that, and don't forget, with the cellular functionality of your Apple Watch, your carrier is going to charge you a monthly subscription fee. My one, I think, is $5 a month, which adds up to $60 a year. That's extra money that you could spend on other things. And then the second you release that Apple brought out in this current Apple event is the new iPad mini. The iPad mini, I must say, looks absolutely fantastic. It's a tablet that fits in the palm of your hand. There is a significant price difference from the bottom of the range iPad mini compared to the top of the range. It's two things. One is the storage, and the basic version comes as 64 gigabytes and the high-end version comes as 256 gigabytes. The other significant option that you need to choose is whether you want Wi-Fi only or Wi-Fi plus cellular. With the new iPad mini is capable of 5G, so that's really cool. Everything else remains the same. The processor is the same, the screen size is the same, the performance is the same. The good thing about the new iPad mini right now is that you can use the second series Apple Pencil. How do you decide between the Apple iPad mini 64 gigabyte Wi-Fi, which is $749 here in Australia, or the 256 gigabyte 5G cellular version, which retails at $1,209. So there is over $400 difference in the price, and the difference being you get 4 times more memory, which is significant to a lot of people, and you get 5G. If you are somebody who uses their iPad out and don't want to tether it to your phone, 5G is crucial. But if you're always in an office or you always have unlimited data, for example, in your iPhone, and you're happy to hotspot it, I don't know that the 5G is a worthwhile additional expense. If you have the 5G version of the iPad, you're going to need to have a subscription or a monthly data allowance, and that's going to cost you money as well. And now to the centerpiece of the Apple event, which is iPhone 13. I've got the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and in my previous video I alluded to some of the reasons why you may want to upgrade, why you may not want to upgrade. But if you've made the decision that you're going to get the iPhone 13, the question is, do you get the 13, the 13 mini, the 13 Pro, or the 13 Pro Max? And once again, it depends on a number of factors, and I just want to spend the rest of my time on this video going through some of those reasons why you may choose one over the other. Now let's start with the price difference. Comparing to the basic model of the iPhone 13 mini compared to the fully spec'd out 13 Pro Max, there is a significant difference in price, but to accompany that, there's a significant upgrade in some of the functionality and some of the hardware on the two phones. The iPhone 13 mini with the 128 gigabytes of storage retails at $11.99 here in Australia. Compare that to the iPhone 13 Pro Max with the 1 terabyte of storage, and that's a whopping $2,719. That is a significant $1,520 increase in cost. Do you need all of this functionality? Do you need all of the features? So let me just quickly go through some of the features which you can have a look at to determine whether it's worthwhile for you to upgrade your phone. You've got the 128 gigabytes of storage versus 1 terabyte of storage. You've got the stainless steel versus aluminium, and the first thing I'm going to quote is always going to be the top of the range iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the second one's going to be the iPhone mini. So you've got 5 versus a 4-core GPU. You've got a 6 times versus a 2 times optical zoom with a Pro versus a dual camera. With the iPhone Pro Max, you can shoot in Apple RAW. You can't do that on the iPhone mini. The screen is 6.7 inches compared to the 5.4 inches, so it's a bigger screen. Significantly battery life wise, the iPhone 13 Pro Max reportedly has 11 hours more video battery life than the iPhone mini. There is a significant difference in the specs of the iPhone 13 mini compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And which ones are more important to you? Now, in terms of screen size, I like the bigger phone. The CPU, i.e. the performance of this phone, is pretty similar. They all run the A15 chip, but there is a one less core of the GPU with the iPhone mini, which may affect some of the graphics performance. Storage, in terms of phones, now the only thing I can advise you, maybe have a look at your current phone and have a look at how many gigabytes it is and what percentage of the storage you use. If you're a heavy user of camera, one is you're going to want a better camera. You're going to want the one with better night mode, you want the one that's capable of doing macro, you want the one with a bigger zoom. And if you're going to shoot a lot of 4K as well, you're going to have to remember that it's going to take up a lot more storage. I would probably think the sweet spot right now for these phones is probably around 512 gigabytes. The 1 terabyte is great and it's a good option, but it's really expensive and it really depends on your usage. Now, one thing you got to remember is that the iPhone 13 still run with a Lightning, and you don't have the ability to add as much external storage as you do with the iPads, which run USB-C. If you want best performance, you want a good screen size, you want the best cameras and the best camera options, and you want the best performance, you really have no option but to go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max or the Pro. But it really depends. If you're someone who just likes to look at a few things on the internet, check your emails, send some text messages, make some phone calls, and do your social media, the smaller, less spec'd out versions of the iPhone are probably perfect for you. Don't forget, with the iPhone, just like with the iPads, you're going to have to consider things like spending extra money on screen protectors, cases. Also remember, the iPhone does not come with an external power brick, so you're going to either have to have a previous one or you're going to have to buy a new one of those as well. Also, they don't come with headphones, so you're going to have to get some sort of Bluetooth, whether you get AirPods or you get a different brand. So there you go. There are a lot of options. It can be a bit scary, and it's a lot of money to have to put down for a new phone. The question of which one is the best for you, this is what it comes down to. One is the amount of money that you have that is disposable, that you're prepared to spend on a gadget, which might last 1, 2, 3 years, and then you have to upgrade. It depends on the amount of functionality you need, the amount of storage you need, how fast you need your processor to be, how good the cameras. The biggest mistake that I always used to make when I bought tech was that I would buy the bare minimum of what I think I needed right then. And most of the time I found that within 3 months I would have loved to have that extra spec, that extra functionality, that slightly better camera, the bigger storage, all that kind of stuff, and I ended up regretting my initial purchase, and sometimes I would actually go and buy the higher spec model a few months later. So my advice to you from that regard is, if you're not sure buy the best one that you can afford based on your needs. So if there's a possibility you're going to shoot 4K video, you're going to shoot night portraits, and you're going to want to shoot in RAW, the iPhone 13 mini is not going to be the one that you should get. Even though you're not doing it right now, but there's a potential that you're going to do it within the next couple of years while you have this phone, I would strongly suggest that you get the higher end model. But if you think you're going to be happy with a lower spec model, then go for it. It will save you money. Overspend a little bit if you can afford it, just to get all the features that you think you might need during the life of this phone. So guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully I've been of some help in helping you make up your mind as to which Apple product is going to be the right one for you. As usual with Apple, you can't really make a mistake because all their products are amazing. As usual, if you like my videos, I'd love if you could leave me a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave a comment below and let me know which model of the iPhone, the Apple Watch or the iPad mini that you're thinking of buying. And until next time, catch you in another video. Have a great day guys. See ya.